Hello, everybody. My name is Nico, aka Chopcheesefc. I make fan and sponsored content, fan inspired content. I apologize about New York City FC and their supporters and just the vibes at games in general.
And I'm Cheyenne, between Clean Sheets. I do did you say fan inspired?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna botch it too. No, just kidding. I also do fan inspired content, and I'm kind of league wide. Although for the day that I did go to an NYCFC game, I was definitely rooting for the home team.
Yeah,
so
came to a good game as well, so that definitely helped.
Oh yeah. Talk to me about your separative content, your experiences at NYCFC games.
And honestly, I just wanted something that I feel like I related to. I kind of craved that content, but it was non-existent at the time. There were fans who were making content, but it was either podcast or more of like an analytical perspective, which is fine, but I wanted more like real authentic style of how the game actually is and what I experienced when I was at the game. So I kind of really just leaned into that, and it's really cool how the fan base is kind of like gathered around it, and they're really big fans of it. So I mean, that's really the coolest part. So my experience has been great.
It's on the ground.
Yep.
It's like direct to camera.
Yep.
It's loud.
Mhm.
It's proud. It's rowdy.
Absolutely.
How else would we describe it?
Obnoxious.
It's
New York at the end of the day. Like, I feel like
It
that's kind of what I
is.
was trying to portray. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone what to say. There's no script to anything. It's more so just me giving people a camera and they say whatever they want to say. And it's kind of how I roll.
So it's usually like in the moment reactions to what's
Yeah.
going on, in the moment excitement based on what's going on.
Yeah.
When it comes to non-game day conversations, tell me about your relationship with NYCFC, or what kind of the way that you cover them,
Yeah.
how you talk about them when it's not game day.
It depends from a wide variety of subjects. Like yesterday, I talked about why the team, not why they play in Red Bull Arena, but like how that all started and a lot of things, like fashion about the team I made, about their only New York collab, about players, NYCFC trivia, just anything to get people engaged and the fan engaged, people talking about NYCFC, caring about NYCFC. That's really my only goal and mission, is literally just to make them a popular team, so people actually care about them, because I don't know, I love it, so I want everyone else to love it too.
Well, you guys are competing with the NBA.
Yep.
One team?
Two
teams.
Two NBA teams, two MLB teams, two NHL teams, two NFL teams, and just New York City in general. Just the aspect of there's always stuff to do, concerts, social media, shows, Broadway. There's many ways for people their interest to go elsewhere. So trying to get them to show up here, and I think the stadium will definitely help that, because I know as much as it doesn't bother me, like I know it bothers a lot of people, the baseball stadium, soccer field stuff.
Well,
So
I feel like separate of it's the viewer experience being different. I hate that you guys live in the shadow of a team with a great reputation, but that hasn't, until I guess last year at the World Series, that hasn't really been performing well. They still have the clout and the legitimacy of being like one of the great baseball teams.
that'll never go away, though, you know.
Yeah.
Yankee fans are loud and proud, and they have a lot of history. They're the most historical team in the MLB. As much as I hate to say it as a Met fan, they will always be relevant no matter what. They are Manchester United. They are the Lakers. They are that.
But you shouldn't have to share that with them.
No, yeah, but that's NYCFC's fault, you know. They should have never just put all their eggs in the Bronx. They should have always looked at Queens, but they waited until the whole Bronx deal fell apart. But listen, we got the stadium now, so that's all I care about, is being built as we speak, and that's really cool, to be honest.
Okay, you just expressed an opinion that probably NYCFC would not admit themselves. I want to hear about all the other ways in which you've been honest about your fandom, about the team,
A
all
lot
of
of
that.
ways. Just, you know, sometimes I feel like our front office is very stagnant. They sit on their feet. They're more reactive instead of proactive. But again, that's just an expression. Like, I'm not threatening like anyone, nothing crazy. Literally, I just have an opinion. Like, and if people don't like it, that's fine. It's literally just a part of the ecosystem. Like, you don't have to like it. That's completely okay. You can disagree with it. Let me know. Like, it really doesn't matter as long as people are talking about it and contributing to the ecosystem.
Right.
I
It's
feel
the
like that's what
dialogue.
matters.
It's the dialogue.
Like, you know, you don't see that. So
Right.
yeah, like if I disagree, and I like things they do, like when they did the pigeon, a lot of people didn't like it. I said, oh, it's not that bad. Like it worked. They got the publicity. I mean, it was a weird way to do it, but they got it done. So you know, you can't hate results.
I'm only annoyed that I didn't get enough notice to go find it for
I
myself.
know it was because it was weird, and like the live stream, they weren't even showing the pigeon. You just were like watching the front of the boat, so you had no idea what was going on. It was
Getting
weird.
the pigeon's POV.
Literally, you were literally the pigeon. So I mean, I guess I get it, but they could have had like 2 cameras, like one in the corner, and they could have kept flipping. But whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is.
NYC won the cup in
2021.
Okay, and before that, I know you guys had Via, Lampard, Pirlo.
Via Lampard, Pirlo.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty serious institution before then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do think the baseball stadium hinders everyone taking it like as seriously as it could have been.
1000%.
But winning cup changes that. Talk to me how it's changed.
I mean, it changed everything. I feel like without the Cub, we don't have a stadium. Without the Cub, there's not the momentum around NYCFC in general. I truly feel like the Cub made us legit, and then like the team was inspired to then like, because we got the Cub, and then a year later we got the stadium deal. So like things just started falling in place. And it's not only that, we won Campeones Cup. We're the last MLS team to win Campeones Cup.
I forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Like we had a great run, and it really just made people finally take us seriously. Even though people like make these lists, last New York team to win championship, and they always exclude us or the Liberty. It's fine. It is what it is. They can't change facts. Portland happened, and you know everyone likes to say COVID Cup this, COVID Cup that. Get mad at Andre Blake. He shouldn't have thrown a party with all his teammates and got them sick. Don't get mad at me.
That is so true. And I actually, recovering DC United fan, in almost all the years that DC was not making it to the playoffs in the time that I lived in DC, I would drive up to Chester and watch those games, their playoff games. I was super excited to see how well Philadelphia was doing for those, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But
they were legit.
Yeah, that's not... that could literally happen in any scenario, and we've also seen plenty of MLS clubs go down for CONCACAF and also get sick.
Yeah, literally.
Like, that's on them. That's totally on them.
It's not our, and not only that, everyone likes to be like, oh, COVID Cup. We beat New England, who was the regular season points record they broke. They won the Supporter Shield. We beat them in the playoffs and penalties. Philly got sick again. If we had to follow the rules, why couldn't they? Like, at the end of the day, should the game have been postponed? That's not my decision. That's Don Garber's, and he made it happen. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. If we would have got sick and that would have been us, we have to eat that. And
show must go on.
Yeah, and they got us back the next year, so, you know, it was good. It reignited the rivalry again, so.
And we need those.
Exactly.
Okay, last question, and I'll let you ask me. Would you consider, beyond geography, would you consider NYCFC and New York Red Bulls a true rivalry?
Yeah,
you would?
Absolutely. It's a true rivalry.
What year was it most, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Prevalent?
Oh yeah, what year was it most prevalent?
Honestly, probably, I would say like from about 2015 to like 2019, those were like some pretty serious battles that obviously the Red Wedding happened. We got them back a couple times. Via had a hat trick, but more so over the past couple years, I feel like the playoff game where they beat us definitely helped reignite the rivalry again. But like before that, the rivalry was kind of dead. But it's definitely been reignited again. So 1,000%.
Yeah, I'm always down for a good rivalry, and I have to admit, I don't think the one between DC United and Red Bulls exists anymore.
No, maybe the fans do, but the players don't feel it. Maybe the fans hold that, but the actual players of the teams, they don't feel that. So the questions I want to ask you, the first one is, when did you start making content in a van, traveling the country, following U.S. soccer?
I had an emotional and mental breakdown. Well, that's where the van part comes in. So I first started making content when I lived in DC. I was a fresh DC United fan. I went to a women's college, so I don't have any like college football affiliation or fandom like that. So I was very, very new to US soccer. I played soccer in college, but that was the extent to which I really engaged with it. So when I got to DC, I thought, might as well get season tickets. They're super cheap and right around the corner. But I was playing co-ed like rec leagues with all these dudes who were like, oh, who's your team? Who's your team? And I would say DC United. And they're like, no, who's your Premier League team? I'm like, I don't think of the Premier League. I don't have an emotional connection. I'm never going to see those guys play.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. So I started making like little briefings for friends when we would go to games, and they would be my +1 just so they would know who to look out for. For some of my gal friends, I'd be like, who's the cutest player? What about the game or the team that was coming mattered, et cetera, et cetera. And it started kind of like how we've discussed off camera, being a really, really great creative outlet and an escape from my day job. And I really, really hated my day job after a while. So I think at the point right before I started, oh my gosh, that was a great catch. Yeah, so I really wanted to leave my career, completely separate of content. I thought, I need to get out. I can't be in DC anymore. Even my DC United fandom was completely like wrapped up in all the things that I was starting to hate about DC. And I have a friend in DC who imports Japanese vehicles, which is great. And I saw him import some Toyota Hiaces, which is what I have. And he and his wife will take them out for a weekend, and then he and his wife would take them out for a weekend and then end up selling them. And I felt like they enjoyed camping in a small rig, I guess I should call it. And I felt like for the leap that I wanted to make into living on the road, I didn't want to buy a 6-figure Sprinter van or even like a 50 grand Ford Transit. So I felt like it was something I could do that would not be too much of a financial burden. Having soccer be the guiding light was a really good motivator for me to figure out my schedule. Otherwise, I would just be like probably in the Pacific Northwest for just a year because it's so breezy there. But I had been making content, traveling and watching DC United, which you do. You've gone on away days, you know how that goes, and seeing new cities, exploring, etc. So now I do that, and I'm taking it more seriously. Trying to make a little bit of money off of it. Also doing my best to cross off the last few games on my list. And I have 3 left: Toronto, Houston, and San Diego. NYCFC at Yankee Stadium.
You're gonna have to refresh.
I know.
Stadiums are being built. Chicago's building a stadium. Maybe the Revolution. So NYCFC, obviously. Right. So
perhaps by then, though, I'll just fly there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could drive.
That's a long drive.
The van has been great. I want to live in it until probably the end of next year, and I've been living in it for a year now, and so far so good. Actually, it's been really nice. It's very flexible.
Yeah, you got more. I couldn't do it. I feel like I need to work somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, air conditioning, ice in your drinks.
Sleeping out in the middle of, like, I don't know.
Sleeping on the street, yeah. Yeah, it is strange. And even this morning, I was in the middle of getting ready, brushing my teeth, and I could have sworn, even though I had tinted windows, I could have sworn there was a dude, like, looking right at me. And I just stopped, waited for about 45 seconds, and then he left, and I was like, oh my gosh, surely he saw me. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, he didn't see me. It's dark. There's enough tint on it. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, that's fine. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's very unique, that's for sure. So that's one thing I'll definitely give you props for, like, you know, and traveling all around the country, following the USL, NWSL, MLS. I mean, college, it just goes on and on and on. So, you know, the soccer system here is much more complex than people like to make it seem. So it's definitely pretty sick that you're bringing light to that. So
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
No, absolutely. We all contributing to this ecosystem. And speaking of the ecosystem, there's a lot of things going on in U.S. soccer right now as far as the World Cup coming up next year. USL is going to have promotion relegation, which I have my doubts about. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Okay.
Not saying it should work, but knowing American owners and capitalism, I don't know how willing owners of a fourth division team are going to be willing to really invest like consistently into that.
Right.
Like sure, maybe like it for a while, but they're going to want more money, and the money's not there. The unfortunate reality here in this country is if there's no money, there's no game. So.
Right. And I think to be relegated too is like the cherry on top of a very shit Sunday, pardon the French. And I think for guys who are mostly building these teams as a legacy for their community, because they can't they're not rich enough to put their name on a hospital or something, and they're also doing it as a real estate investment. Yeah, because they could lease out their stadium. Because I mean, some of these USL teams are building pretty big stadiums. So I mean, I'm excited for like the ecosystem in general. I'm just not sure how the pro rel is sustainable for a long time. I hope it is, but they're building a lot.
No, I know. I mean, it's really. I see what Providence is doing. I mean, I'm from Long Island, so I guess I like Rough Riders by default, but they're USL too. So
they're also. I went to a game. I went to a men's and women's game. I was unfortunately not impressed. I think they could do better. Oh yeah, for sure they could, but. It's also part of the culture growing. So speaking of the culture growing, where do you see the future of like MLS in like the next 10 years? Like 10 years from now in 2036, or 35, sorry, like where is MLS going to be? Is there going to be a top 5 league? How many teams are we going to have? At this rate, 50.
I know, right? Literally at this point.
When America has another civil war and we split half down the middle...
Instead of north-south, it's going to be east-west.
Yes, because I think that's bi-coastal is kind of how we exist as a society.
For sure.
Time zone factors into all of that. MLS also having a Western Conference, an Eastern Conference, whatever. I think that part of it, literally like the 1,000th thing on the list of things that will happen as a result of the war. No, I actually really struggle with this question because I'm watching it become more corporate.
Yeah.
And when things become more corporate, they become less authentic, which is where I think you and me can fill the gap, but we're filling a gap that we're not getting paid to do, and is also not going to change the increase.
It's like trying to fill up a tub with the hole in the bottom of it.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to make the ticket prices any cheaper. We're not going to make the teams any better. We only hope that they get better.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll definitely be in a situation where people won't ask you what the heck your jersey is.
Yeah,
that's one thing I can hope for, is that you won't have to explain what Major League Soccer is to people.
I don't even think you have to much now these days. With Messi being there, I feel like everyone knows what MLS is now.
You know what? That's actually true.
Everyone knows. I see Miami jerseys everywhere. It's inescapable. If you go to another country, it doesn't matter. You could go to a game where Miami isn't even playing, someone's wearing a Inter Miami Messi kit, which I mean, great for them, but it's also like watching like what Miami's doing, like it makes me wonder, like if the league wants to grow and like truly stay, they have to change the roster rules, because like somehow, shout out to Miami, I know everyone likes to complain about it, I wish NYCFC did the same thing. If I'm really truly being honest with myself, I wish Messi? No, not even sign Messi. It's like more take the LAFC route, like the way they're just so aggressive in getting talent.
Yeah.
I feel like NYCFC kind of got a little drunk off their own thing in 2021. They had Dati and Maxi, and they're just like, oh, we can still like find that magic. And that was true in that iteration of MLS. I don't know if that's so true now these days. All these teams winning MLS Cup, whether it's Columbus, LAFC, who won last year?
LA Galaxy.
LA Galaxy, yeah. I mean, you look, the Galaxy were stacked. Like all these teams are stacked. Like they're not teams that are like going through the draft and signing like homegrown. Not saying that you can't do that, but if you think you're just gonna do that and win the cup, there's no way. Not anymore. Messi changed that for the good, and I hope Son goes to LAFC. I saw Thomas Muller just went to Vancouver. That's awesome.
Vancouver.
Awesome.
Actually,
shout out to Canada, all the three Canadian MLS teams.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, two things I do think will happen. I do think players are going to get paid more.
Yes, they
have to. There's that. And then I also feel like it won't just be the top 3 or 4 clubs that are getting big names.
Yeah.
Is what I hope.
They have to spread the love some way, like especially if like Chicago gets a like I don't care that sure Miami's getting stars. I just want stars to come to the league in general and more younger. Like no one's saying they have to come here like Yabal. No one's asking him to be here, right?
Yeah.
But if you're 28, 29, 27, you're starting to look like why not? Like, you know, they crave the lifestyle here for sure. I mean, everyone's going to Miami. I mean, of course, Messi has something to do with that, and I'm curious to see how they can carry over that momentum once he leaves. Because I remember Miami wasn't having the best support in the beginning to like when they were introduced into the league. So I'll be curious to see how they can just carry that momentum forward.
Well, they were also in last.
Yeah.
Almost all of the time pre-Messi, so it's difficult. They also got penalized for breaking
the rules.
Cheated,
yeah.
Which happens because they're operating in a very restricted system with guys that don't really know how that system works from that side.
The salary cap rules and then the Major League Soccer make no sense. I truly don't understand.
I get it for the 1.0 to 3.0 era.
Yeah, they were necessary. They were necessary once upon a time, but not anymore.
Yeah. I hope and will exist. In 2035.
For sure. MLS isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, which is nice.
1,000%. There's too much money in it at this point. And if more players continue to come over, then it's only going to continue. They could pay the most money, especially for DPs. I mean, Messi's getting paid God knows how much money at this point.
Whoever comes next, I want him to be the only guy that has the Apple, Adidas like extra deal.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That feels like very obviously stacked.
I mean, that's a reason why the tickets go up for him now, because they have to get their money back somehow.
Yeah.
And I mean, every team in the league paid for him to be here, so in a way, it's an investment of the whole league. Which I mean, the league's more popular, but I don't. Is it as popular as it could be? I don't think so.
Not in a long-term way, I don't think.
It was like a short-term boost, but I feel like Beckham was a true ambassador for the league. Messi is not an ambassador for the league. He doesn't even do post-game interviews.
He didn't go to All-Star 2 years in a row.
And I was listening to NYCFC Forever podcast. Like, imagine if he just did the skills challenge. And just imagine if he did that. Just showed up, kicked the ball around a little bit, and that's it.
We wouldn't have had to see show speed.
Which wasn't even bad. I mean, shout out to the league for trying. I mean, they're trying to get to a younger audience, and if kids pay attention to it and start to like the league, then mission accomplished. We don't have to. That wasn't for us, you know. that move wasn't for us.
That's true. Although the second part of that, if it gets them to pay attention,
exactly, that's it,
and get involved in the league after.
Like pay attention. They're like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, what if he comes back next year? It's like maybe something they'll look forward to. I mean, he actually did a great job. He tied with Diego Luna in the skills challenge. It's unbelievable. Like, it truly makes no sense.
I didn't watch.
I mean,
I live in a van.
I watched the highlights. I didn't even watch it live, so it's fine.
Okay, what are your other questions, sir? Have we been doing okay?
Yeah, we've been doing great. Okay. So if someone's never followed MLS like the way you have, traveling away and stuff, how would you describe like the passion of the fans you've experienced traveling all across at this point, almost North America, not Mexico, but USA and Canada for sure?
Yeah. Well, I think we are unique in the American sports landscape. The supporter culture is very specific. Every supporter section is like its own nonprofit governing body.
Yeah.
They get together and do charity work.
Yeah.
They get together and talk about making statements about policy or all sorts of things.
Everything.
Yep. And I feel like that is the heart and soul of every team. It ranges from team to team, but I would say to anyone who didn't know much about MLS, whatever game you go to, the vibe is dictated by the supporters section. Yeah, the entire vibe of the game and the atmosphere is dictated by a supporters group.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, so it's cool that you can go to pretty much any stadium and know that there is going to be this extra noise that is coordinated, passionate, fun to watch from afar, fun to be a part of. And that because of that, there's always going to also be a designated like pre-game and post-game gathering. So for me, there's so many times I've shown up to games where I haven't known a single person. I bought a ticket in the supporter section. I knew I was going to be standing for 90 minutes. I knew I was going to see some sort of march, participate in this like ritualistic walk to the match, march to the match. And getting swept up in all of that, you walk away with friends.
Oh, 1,000%.
Pretty much every single time. Yeah. So not to say that that's what makes it different, but that particular camaraderie is, I think, very, very unique to soccer.
There's too many fans in the other sports. If you go to an NFL game, there's 80,000 people. How are you gonna, like, there's literally too much going on.
Yeah, and everyone's like there as an individual. There's a collective in a sense, but it does. There's nothing beyond the surface. Like you aren't coordinating on much of anything beyond the fact that you guys both have the same jersey on.
Literally. And that's the beautiful part. Like, I've met my girlfriend, my friends.
Yeah.
I know, and I've met even traveling fans. Like, I've gone to Miami, Atlanta, Montreal, never Red Bull, Philly. That's never fun. But, but we're rivals, so it shouldn't be. So I like that it's hostile when I go there. But, I've met awesome people just throughout the sport in general. So, and it's very niche still. So it's still very communal and like very community based, where the other sports leagues are they're like giant conglomerates.
Yeah, well, especially for NFL, one thing I've never enjoyed about it is I feel like we talk about the owners more than the coaches almost.
Oh yeah, especially if you're Jerry Jones and you're someone who's like swept up and all that. But yeah, I mean, they're some of the richest people in the world. They influence politics. They influence a lot of things. So it's,
some of them own soccer teams that they don't pay enough attention to.
A couple of them, Robert Kraft. Why did the Revolution not have a stadium at this point is unbelievable.
I feel also that the Cronkies ignore the Colorado Rapids too much.
I forgot Stan Kroenke owns the Rapids. He owns so many teams. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, that's one thing I really wish we could change about the way soccer exists in this country. I want us to be a little bit more collectively involved.
That's not just the here problem, though. That's all around the world,
That's true.
The Premier League, La Liga. I mean, you see how much money Real Madrid and Barcelona are putting to their stadium. $1 billion renovations. This is like serious, real deal, money being thrown around there. So unfortunately, it's not just the U.S. soccer. It's just soccer in general has become much more corporatized. I mean, look, that's one of the big things about the Club World Cup, right? That's one of the biggest complaints people had. They were like, hey, this is just corporatizing the game. You guys play too much, blah, blah, blah. But then the game starts and all that goes away. Everyone loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked out. And, as much as people love to hate it, like now, I'm going to look forward to the next one. I thought it was great. I hope one day NYCFC can qualify for it. That'd be awesome.
We shall see. I feel like you guys are doing the loop that all MLS Cup winners do, and it takes anywhere between 3 and 7 years.
I know, and we almost went back to back, but we lost, so it's fine. Like if Alexander Cayens made that header after Maxi scored that goal, we would have went up 2-0 for sure. We would have.
If only.
If only, but we got one. We got one, and the Red Bulls have nothing. I'll take it.
That's so true.
They had a 23-year head start. Yeah, I mean, we lost to them, so shout out to them for beating us, but at the end of the day, they couldn't win a cup on the road, unlike us. We won one on the road.
Yeah, and in a much cooler venue than...
Oh yeah, Providence Park like this. So trying to put a ball in this whole conversation.
What is happening? Actually, yes, to put a pin in it, we're going to turn the camera.
No, don't worry about it. So, we won at Providence Park, and that is literally Soccer City, USA. That is a historical, all the way back to the NASL in the 70s, so that's pretty much as close it gets.
Which, I don't know if you remember this, but when Portland lost to Atlanta in,
17, 16,
18. Something like that. And there was a bunch of nerds from the Timbers that wrote those like think pieces. I don't know if Substack was a thing then, but they wrote these think pieces about how like they are true soccer culture and fans, and Atlanta's just the shiny new thing.
And you know what's sad? Atlanta has awesome soccer culture. As much as I wanted to go and hate it, because I'll be honest, I've seen the videos, but when I went, every restaurant, bar, a barbershop, everything had Atlanta United everywhere. And the people embraced the team, and I mean, they could basically fill out an NFL stadium, an awesome stadium, that too. It's a really awesome. If anyone wants to go on a good away day, definitely go to Atlanta for sure.
I actually really agree. I think they're friendly.
They're really nice
until you get inside, but they're still safe. Yeah, exactly. But what's cool is you know that you could show up as you are right now to their tailgate, and they'd be like, "Come on, come on over."
Literally, I was at one of their hangout bars, and like everyone was so cool. They're like, "Oh, it's so cool you guys came to travel." I try to be the same way whenever I see away fans as well. I'm like, "Oh, thank you for coming out." Like I remember we were playing Cincinnati a couple weeks ago, and a lot of their fans came. I was like, "Oh man, thank you for coming out." Like it's cool. Like I think that's sick. I always love people traveling to follow the team. So that's always a good thing. I
feel like MLS fandom too is so niche that to find anyone that's willing to travel for it like that is like, oh, you're my friend.
Yeah, no, literally.
We have the same kind of mental illness.
If you're as crazy as us, to literally, I've driven to Canada, I've flown all the way to Miami, so and I want to travel more. I think I'm going to go to Chicago later this year, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
that was it.
Do you think that's a good chat?
I thought it was.
Man, freaking wind. The wind was like, wrap it up.
Yeah, but that's New York City, baby.
It is, and finally we're getting a little breeze for our sweaty pits.
Oh, literally, it's so freaking hot. It's disgusting.
All right, sign off.
See you guys later.
Bye.